Welcome into This Week in Missouri Politics Midweek Edition. I'm Scott Faughn, the host of This Week in Missouri Politics. 2 week break, I tell you. Feel good. Feel happy, refreshed. I'm not quite sure. A lot going on in Missouri politics. Start off with the thing that's happening today. Today in Warrensburg. Missouri Times will be on hand reporting from Warrensburg, Missouri, the site of UCM. What do you think, Mr. Mule? He likes that. He digs that. Going to be Denny Hoskins going to announce. You've heard it from me. Last time I talked to him, he was sitting, second last time I talked to him, he was sitting right there. I think he's running for Secretary of State. He's going to count some votes. It's an interesting thing. I mean, let's just start from the top. This race has Shane Scholler. He ran, it would have been 12 years ago for that race against Jason Kander. It was the Aiken election. I firmly believe Shane Scholler wins that, if not for what Todd Aiken said about Kelton. You remember they were going to shut that whole thing down about rape. It was just it was creepy. It just was. Claire McCaskill's a pro. She stole one from the Republicans. Seat should have been Republican by all rights. The state was trending that way. She stole one, picked their pockets, and there's a lot of folks. If Sarah Steelman just wins that nomination, there probably isn't much of a race even that year, the way the winds were blowing. But Claire McCaskill came in, run some ads for Aiken. Talk about slick. It's Claire McCaskill. You can have your views on her views, right? But people can debate politics. But if you're telling me Claire McCaskill isn't one of the smartest, most effective politicians in the history of the state, you're just a freaking clown. I mean, take the passion out of it for just 1 second. Throw it back in there. Claire McCaskill knows her stuff. Right, Kelton? I mean, start naming me a better pure politician than Claire McCaskill.
I just can't.
No, that like it don't exist. So big news there. Scholler. Here's the thing. Shane is truly a Christian conservative. A lot of times, frankly, Christian conservatives can't really tell the difference between fake and real. I've just watched it, and but Shane's real. He ain't got to fake nothing. That's whether you think that's a good thing as Secretary of State or bad. Shane Scholler is a legit Christian man. Says what he means what he says. It is a passion of his, and he is the OG religious conservative. I like him a lot. He's a good dude. I respect him a lot. Him and his wife Mindy. He's going to have a Southwest Missouri chunk. He's been counting votes in Greene County. However, Greene County, people forget, like, Greene County's become a competitive general election county. However, for a long time, the Boot Heel was not competitive at a presidential level, congressional, governor, whatever. It was Republican, but it had a different view in the primary because your sheriff and your commissioners were all still primary candidates. It was a primary campaign down in Kennett, right where the Kennett Indians down there. It was if your people show up to vote in a primary for very different reasons. In the suburbs, where you're a little farther detached from your elected officials, you'll show up to vote for and Springfield has a lot of suburbs now, frankly. You'll show up and vote for whatever your passionate thing on Facebook, but in a rural area, a sheriff's primary is going to goose turnout bigger than a U.S. Senate race. Probably the most competitive, geographically dispersed U.S. Senate race we've ever had in this past year. Well, it wasn't competitive at the end, but I mean, Eric Schmidt will tell you. I mean, it was a legit top tier NFL level race. You had 4 people when that thing started could have won that thing. And even by the month out, 3 people could have won that thing. And the way it broke, it's always going to look like he just blew that thing away, and he did in the end. But I mean, that was a tough race. Shane's got a lockdown on some Greene County voters. Not as many of them vote in the primary anymore. And now the Boot Heel all votes in the Republican primary. The rural Missouri now it's all Republican primaries. There's no longer different weighted areas where this area votes a little bit less in the Republican primary because they have a commissioner primaries on the Democrat side, so they go take that Democrat ballot. It is now all Republican in rural Missouri, all Democrat in the cities, and that changes the calculation and how valuable it is. Greene County is not as valuable as it used to be in and of itself. Southwest Missouri has always been heavy Republican primary votes. Shane will have a base that's a significant base, a large base. He'll have a base with some Christian conservatives. The question is going to be, can he raise money? Can Shane go out there and put together $1 million for this race? He did before, but he was in the House and an influential member of House leadership. Can he go turn that around? Denny Hoskins starts off. He's going to have his war chest. He's got Brady Hayes will be there tonight, by the way, in Warrensburg at the Coltons. Reminds me of old Herman Styles. By the way, Brewers and Malters, local 6. I appreciate this, guys. You know me. I'm a Bud Light man. You know me. I like Alec Baldwin movies, even if he is. Thought it was a bad Trump impersonation, but he's liberal. It's fine. Be liberal. I never liked the Dixie Chicks, but I didn't like the Dixie Chicks before. So that doesn't. I'm not going to own. That's not politics. I just don't like the Dixie Chicks. I wasn't a fan previously. I don't care about your politics. If you can sing, I'm in. If you can act, I'm in. If you can brew beer, don't care what the marketing people do. Um, there was. It wasn't long ago. People forget Kelton, Robert Plager. He was lynched for being German, complete racist lynching. German Americans have suffered great amounts of racism all throughout our time in St. Louis. So if they want to, whatever their marketing budget is, I promise you, the Germans have suffered worse as far as the anti-German racism. So I say, guys, at the union, this means a lot to me. Thank you. These dudes work for a living. They don't sit on Twitter and complain about TV commercials for a living. They actually brew beer and they work. So you boys keep brewing Bud Light there in St. Louis, Missouri, and I'll keep drinking it. But I gotta say, that is water because it's 11 o'clock and my mom watches these. But guys, no, seriously, you know me. I'm in. Don't care about the marketing. And oh gosh, let's get back to Secretary of State story. So Denny Hoskins going to come in. Obviously, everybody complains about all of his VLT stuff, right? Everyone wants to bet on the Chiefs, and I get it. I totally get it. I totally understand. I don't necessarily disagree with any of your takes on that. It is frustrating. The process is frustrating. It's supposed to be. It's hard to change laws. It's supposed to be hard. The only thing worse than it being hard to change laws would be it being easier. But he's owed a lot by the VLT guys. Now, here's the thing about the VLT guys. Here's your champion, right? Carried your water. He is the Missouri American water of your issue. I don't see a path to actually making VLTs legal in this state. I personally think the sports teams go to the ballot. I personally think at the ballot they win. And I think you've got a whole problem with now no one's going to want to. The only way VLT was going to pass, I mean, it's funny how VLT went from this issue that generally everybody was for, just the casinos were against, to now they're against it. And it all had to be wrapped around the sports book, but they took sports book hostage. It's you hear that there's a price to be paid for the kind of hostage that legislative strategy has a price. It also has a high degree of success, frankly, but it also has a price. And so, yeah, but they owe him. They should kick in. Diddy Hoskins has friends that kick in. There is a group. Ask any senator that ran for re-election without the support of Senator Lemke's organization he's built. That group is real. That group, I think, can be tapped in almost easier for a statewide race than it can these state Senate races. Bill Eigel is going to benefit from it. Denny Hoskins will benefit from it. Denny Hoskins is a legit top-tier contender. Of the people that are announced, I do believe, even with Shane's geographic base, because of Senator Hoskins' fundraising ability and because of the network former Senator Lemke, has built around the state, I think Denny jumps in as the favorite, and see how much money he can put together going forward. Now let's shake the dice up again. Who else could get in this race? You saw these Bill Eigel and Denny. They're not running against each other. So some folks think Bill Eigel could parachute down to that race. I'm just going to take Bill at his word until not. I think he's going to wait till the fall, see where he's at. Is it unlikely? Yeah. Is it impossible? Go ask the old boy from Lebanon, the last guy that was elected governor out of the state Senate, elected 2 times, 2 unconsecutive terms. Him and Kit Bond, the only guys that did that. So we'll see. I think Bill Eigel is a very serious contender in that race. We'll get back to that in a second. But lurching forward, I think Caleb Broughton's the one. I saw Caleb at the Country Days Parade in Farmington. Now, Kelton, you have an idea of how far. It's not just how far Farmington is from Jeff City, from Columbia. It's that there is no road from Columbia to Farmington.
None at all.
And if it is, it's like this. It's like I think they tied it. They dipped a coon's tail in wet paint and had him just run through the woods, and that's how they built 8 from over to Potosi. But so to get to Country Days in that cool green car leads me. I mean, everybody will tell you Caleb always going to run. Some will say, you don't. Now listen, the people that are pro tems of the Senate that had to carry this burden for 5 years, will be 6 years of Senate leadership. Do they usually run? No, they're usually worn out. They're usually just exhausted and want to give. They think they want about 3 years apiece. They usually want about 3 months. But I believe Caleb Brown is going to run. Now there'll be people that doubt he files. There'll be people that Here's the thing about Caleb Brown: if somebody gives him a large contribution and he tells them, if I don't ultimately file, I'll give it back. Everybody will believe him. They'll believe his word. So I think Caleb Brown. I mean, look, there's questions around Denny Hoskins running until he files, right? Until he can't get off the ballot. So, and you can tell kind of by how aggressively they pursue these races. Do I believe Shane Scholar's in and going to file and going to run? Yeah, I do. I don't, no doubt in my mind, unless some very creative deal was struck. I think that's how that would end. So that's my quick and dirty take. If Caleb gets in, I think Caleb starts out as the marginal favorite. I think Denny's a significant favorite until you see how much money Shane Scholar can raise. I think if Caleb gets in, he's a marginal favorite because I think he's going to be able to raise more money. Now, you're going to have a lot of folks attack Caleb's voting record. I'm just telling you, this is just my take, right? If you believe Donald Trump is a lifelong conservative religious Republican, you're an idiot. If you believe Donald Trump is actually pro-life, I have some beautiful property in West Butler County, right on the ocean, that I'd love to sell you. Cheap. Cash, baby. I just believe Donald Trump took all these issues and just said, whatever. I just don't, just don't think I think the issues will come back around. There'll be a major national event that will make people care about issues again. But I think people are fine to be lied to, right? I mean, I watched a guy that literally was at the Obama rally go in, run a poll, run some market research, get handed a blue jacket, a blazer and jeans, and a script in Eric Greitens, and a lot of those folks bid hard. It just is what it is. Donald Trump did the same thing. I mean, now here's the thing. I think Roe versus Wade is still the law of the land without Donald Trump. So some of those folks say, well, we're willing to compromise somewhere that probably some of them aren't fools. There's like, well, he was real good at appointing judges that we wanted, and we overturned what we wanted to do. So props. I get that. And the scoreboard, right? There's a scoreboard. As far as like conservatism, Kelton, did you get a check straight from the government? So Donald, and I thought it was a smart move, to be honest with you. There were some guys. Give Donald Trump the credit. See, here's the thing: when other people do it, you want to give. You don't like Joe Biden has had some good ideas. Building some roads is a good idea. His plan's a good plan. If Republicans, somebody else come over with that. No. Joe Biden deserves credit for that. Donald Trump thought we can't go through a pandemic and a recession at the same time. So we're going to go borrow money from China and from tax money from rich people, and we're going to give it to people. Kelton, did you get your $500 from Trump?
Oh, I sure did.
Now, I have no idea. Actually, I don't even know Kelton's politics. He went to Missouri, so I could guess. But I bet he's not strong either way. I bet you could be persuaded to vote for whoever you want, right?
Probably.
See, I just my read on Kelton is he could totally be persuaded on any given day to vote for somebody. He probably starts off with a little perspective, but it's a small one, right?
I'm pretty young.
It's exactly. So, but you spent that money, right?
I sure did.
Socialism, baby. I spent my money too. I mean, I took a PPP loan. I did it all, baby. Give it. If you're passing it out, pass the fun, right? Pass the plate this way. It was like the opposite of church. You were taking money out of the plate. So anyhow, look, I get it. I think you did the right thing, but you know me, I'm more pragmatic hillbilly than most. The truth is, I think the issues don't matter anymore. So running ads about someone on issues. I mean, maybe if they actually already don't believe you or have a credibility issue or they want to believe it, they'll believe it. I mean, that's just where we are in the world. And I don't see that changing, to be honest with you, anytime soon. I don't think Caleb Brown, if he loses the race, will be about issues. It'll be, I mean, if you have more money, just call the other guy, whatever. And people, I mean, as my buddy Keller says, we live in the land of wolves now. So be wolves. So Danny announces tonight. I promise you, if Caleb announces, I think what Brady's going to tweet is a couple pictures from the event. So watch Facebook and Twitter, Missouri Times, and he'll kind of show you what's going on there. It's going to be a cool event. Whatever you want to think about Denny did it the right way. He came in the House, learned state government, was in House leadership, has been a senator. He knows he's as well prepared to be in the executive branch as you can be. It'll be an interesting night. And I did also look. You all know me. I am not one to pat myself on the back or say I told you so. However, on this week of Missouri politics, Kelton probably has the tape. We did lay bets on would sports betting pass or would the voters have to do it. Everybody else was very, if you'll recall, Kelton, very nice and flowery. I was real German. I was like, net. You want sports betting, you got to vote for it. Kelton, who was the only Hun that did predict it correctly?
I think it was you.
I think it was this Hun that predicted correctly. But let me tell you something that's cool. I got this. You have these challenge coins. I think these are kind of neat. But I'm always they're a lot the same. So we'll go down fishing. I took Gussie fishing last week. Down with the State Representative Travis Smith, and maybe it's just because I'm in a good mood. That could be it too. Maybe it's because I'm just happy. But this is the coolest. It just struck me great. So it's the front of it says Representative Travis Smith, cool, Howell County guy, Ozark County guy. But then you flip it over and it's got this beautiful picture. We'll put this on the internet, Kelton, if you don't care, of the back of this bridge in his district, right near his campground that he owns. Serving God's country. How it's the coolest challenge coin I've seen in a long time. I love it. By the way, got to thank my buddy Ben. Appreciate this. Got my Harry Truman Buck Stops Here placard. Looking good. I think it's a cool setup. Very grateful. Then I'm gonna go through. I've got to go through a couple more of these. I mean, these are just awesome. Thank you again, Howard. These are cool for sending these to me. Spainhauer, look at that. Democrat for election Spainhauer. How cool is that? I mean, that's just from back in the day. Then you got a Hearns when we got here. Lytton. Oh man, Lytton is awesome. I remember Slavin, but Linton, I'm telling you, right out of Chillicothe, old rusty black country. Man, Jewel Paddock country. How neat is that old Lytton for U.S. Senate? I have heard he was just the greatest. You just couldn't get. There was nobody. And look at this one. Look at this one. Elect Warren Hearns, U.S. Senator. I told you that story before. That's a cool one. We got to stick this up here somewhere. Jesse, can you hold on to that between you there and Twain? Look at this. This is an old school Gephardt for Congress. Check this out. Kelton, I want you to put this one online. And the reason I want you to put this one online is this is to tell you how cool things are. Down here in the bottom corner of this Gephardt for Congress, of course, it's got the Union bug, as all Republicans and Democrat bumper stickers had back in the day. And down here it says Michael Aubuchon, chairman. Now, I wonder, hypothetically, I'm going to say probably not Rich, the noted super lobbyist here in town, but I'm going to wonder if there's a connection to Kyle Aubuchon in this, the governor's guy that does appointments. Hell of an old boy. Butler County now by choice. But chairman's at 8333 Gravois Avenue in St. Louis. Could you put these two up on the internet today? The back of this Travis Smith coin. And then I want you to take a picture of this, but don't you zoom in on Michael, and I'll see if anybody can ask Kyle, is that his kinfolk that would have been the Gephardt? I bet you this bumper sticker is old enough, Howard. I bet it was the pro-life Dick Gephardt that was running here. Can you get them on the internet today?
Oh, I sure can.
Kelton's got a pile of stuff. I'm retreating south like Governor Price down to Springfield. But Kelton stay here and do stuff. So couple questions got here. Why am I in a good mood? I just am. Mind your business. Governor's race. Yeah. Look, big quarter for Jay. The tip sheet said it all. Jay Ashcroft's front runner. Is it anybody? Sure. Big part of it. Big part of it is the guy has been Secretary of State, done a good job. He's kind of been on the right wing side of things, probably where anybody would advise somebody to be if they're running for governor. His moves have made a lot of sense. Thinking out loud, I'm a believer that this will be the biggest quarter for him because he's going to have to raise some money. Going to have to raise some money outside of his 2-3 largest, bundlers. And I do think that's a big quarter for him. Now, here's the thing. It's easier to raise money when you can produce a poll showing you up by a lot. But he's got to do it, right? It's easier. It's not easy. It's never easy to raise money. Anybody, if you read the Post-Election Star, like, oh, he easily raised, well, that's just bullshit. There is no easy raising money. Raising money is very hard. If it were easy, more people would do it. They'd want him in elections. It's very hard to raise money. Don't ever let anybody tell you the opposite thing. If you're watching this, you're thinking about running, can you raise money? If you can raise money, you should run. If you can't, you should not run. Very simple concept. And people can think it's all about money. Well, you know what? Part of that's about support. If somebody in Dexter, Missouri gives you $20, they're voting for you, and they're putting their wives voting for you. Anybody they talk to, they're gonna proselytize. It's about support. It is indicative of support. That's just the truth. Campaigns aren't all about money, but anybody that says it's not about the money, Kelton, what is it about when they say it's not about the money?
The money.
It's about the money. No, I'm not doing charter school jokes today. I have my own reasons. Um, not doing that this week. Um, so yeah, other things going on. Yeah, I think that right now Kehoe's doing Kehoe things, which is to run the best campaign. That if you're not a member of an association that has endorsed Mike Kehoe yet or is about to, you're a hermit. Um, you don't get out much. He's stockpiling money. He's Kehoe. The Bill Eigels doing his thing, hitting that right wing base, and he's so good. Oh my God, I got like 4 texts the other night. He was at an event, and well, I guess it's been about a month ago. It was a Lincoln Day event, and he just straight out just hit Ashcroft. And again, I'll tell you, if you're running for this for attention, you got to slide to lieutenant governor. Why would you hit Ashcroft? It makes no sense. I think he's running for governor. I mean, Bill Eigel also's got a set on him. I mean, you could just say what you want about old Wild Bill. Wild Bill's got some balls. And in this room, he just was like, "You failed," and a whole bunch of voting machine stuff and all that. And are those attacks legitimate? Probably not. But are they good? Probably so. Kehoe's the only person that surprised me so far is Kehoe. I think you knew that Ashcroft was going to suffer to raise money. When he got the support he got, I think that really put him in a good place. From your folks always say it's so funny, Kel. We should come up with like a storm evil lobbyist Steve Tilley, which everyone, including the folks the liberals worship, take tons of money from. He's good at raising money. And I think it spends probably the same as whatever liberal crap the Post-Dispatch would want you to take money from. But they think it hurts him. It just is like it is truly the greatest marketing for any lobbying firm I've ever seen. I wondered if Steve does things on purpose to tweak the Democrat thing, the independent, just to hit him, because I mean it does nothing but make him. It is the greatest earned media. We'll call it earned media. It's the greatest earned media I've seen. When they go, oh, Steve Tilley's so influential, raises so much money, it's bad. And every people reading this is like, I got to know this guy. I don't know what this guy needs, But anyhow, he's going to have to raise some money outside of that. The only thing that surprised me was Kehoe. He leveled an attack on Ashcroft. It was a good attack. It was not super serious, but go judge him if you want to. It was good. It was really good attack. High quality attack, leveled in a good way, professional way. I thought it was very, very good. We'll see. Let's talk a little Senate races. I think you're seeing an interesting race develop in the 15th. I think David Gregory is the front runner. I think you could see, in a split if that primary gets real divided, the money will matter. So whoever gets in is going to have legit money. And I could see a scenario where more people get in. You got to keep in mind, raising money is very, very, very hard. And Kelton, hypothetical, let's say this. Let's say you want to be a state representative, right? You want to represent the good people of Ashland. No, you want to, I got a better one. You want to run for city council in Ashland. You're tired of Stephanie Bell and all of her shenanigans, and you're ready to raise hell in Ward. There can only be 1 or 2, right?
I think there's 4.
Jeez. Okay. Wow. So there's, okay. Good for the people of Ashland. I'm glad to see things are going well. Hypothetically, let's say Stephanie's in Ward 4, and you decide, damn it, you're tired of her tyranny, and you're ready to raise hell. So, Kelton, I say I'm a person who generally cuts a check. I have a business in Ashland. I want to see good city government. I generally cut a check. And you come to me and you ask me for money, right? Go ahead. Let's do this. Role play this.
Can I have some money for my campaign?
And I'm going to tell you, I think you do a great job.
Oh, I thank you.
Oh, yes. See, and you probably in your mind think, or there's nobody I'd rather see than you, or I'm going to be all behind you. Do you know what those are? Those are nice things to say to someone, correct? You probably feel good about yourself getting a compliment.
I do.
But you know what you didn't get?
Money.
A commitment for money. So I could see that 15, somebody jumping in with, you're going to do a great job. We're going to be all behind you, but not having actual money. And that could be interesting. Because when I think about old Dave Gregory, you could write this down. Whether he's running a challenger campaign essentially for auditor or a state, old boy has some money. We'll see how that shakes out. I do believe that Curtis Gregory, Doug Ritchie. Oh, by the way, sorry about the show. My own fault. Personal problem. No show last week. That's on me. It's the first time I've ever done that, to be honest with you. I've never missed a show that we were going to do. Just couldn't get the show. We've had technical issues or whatever, but that was on me, guys. My bad. Be back with Curtis Gregory from our beautiful studios in the University of Central Missouri in sunny Warrensburg We will have Curtis Gregory on the show. It's going to be fun. He's running in state. So I think it's going to be probably the biggest watch state Senate race. He always have that caveat, and there's a judicial challenge sitting out there somewhere for this fall to the map, which could affect that. But as of now, I think Curtis Gregory, Doug Rich could be a big deal. You got two different ideological things going, two different ways to be conservative. And you've got your business conservative versus your activist conservative, and it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. I do think that we're not probably done seeing candidates there, and that'll be a big difference in how that ultimately turns out. Curtis Gregory, though, MU guy, where's Truman? There's Truman. What do you think? I think we know where Truman's at in that race, right? I think we know where Truman will be at there. But anyhow, I think it'll be be interesting race. We'll find out from Curtis Gregory why he's running, what he wants to do in the state senate. He kind of carries himself like a state senator. You know what I mean? Also, you could talk a lot more crap if he's at wherever you are, because probably someone might step to me confidently, but if they think I'm friends with that guy, maybe not so much, right? I mean, Kelton, if you walked into a room and I was talking crap, you might decide, well, I can handle him. But until his buddy come up behind me and it was Curtis Gregory, maybe not so much, right?
Oh, definitely.
All of a sudden, sit down and shut up comes to, could you just be quiet, please? So we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. A lot of state senate drama, a lot of state senate races. Secretary of State's the big race this week. Next week, let's get a guest, Kelton. Hell.
Well, let's find him.
Who are you thinking?
Oh, I have no idea.
I gotta do. What about we call across the street and we bring our favorite Italian? No, it's not JJ Rizzo. It is our favorite Italian, Jack Cardetti, the man with the vowel at the end of his name. He's fresh off. I think I've watched him on Facebook. He's been in like Milan and all these. I wonder if he's got much more culture in him. How much culture can you fit into a man from St. James?
Not many if he's Italian.
Well, we'll find out. We'll get some spaghetti or something in here next week. We'll see if Cardetti will come and enjoy us. Whatever it is, it'll be fun because he'll be funny. Anyway, this week, Sunday, Curtis Gregory on the show. Going to be fun. We got Houks coming in. Wes Rogers is coming back. Speaking of the Tiger, Wes Rogers, we got him to unretire for a minute to come in. And so we'll see Wes. That'll be loads of fun. Anything Wes Rogers does is I'm just in for, right? I don't even like whatever he's doing is just fun. I've never been around Wes Rogers when I wasn't just having a good time. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you Sunday. Thank you. Oh, by the way, last thing, Truman, we're gonna break some NIL here. Let's say you've got a big weekend planned, and hypothetically you're thinking ahead. Opening day of the Tigers at Faurot Field, right? Your day, buddy. We'll see you. Let's say, hypothetically, you need to go and reach out, and you got to get a hotel room, and you forgot Columbia. Uh-oh. What do? There's only one thing to do. Courtyard by Marriott in Jeff City. Perfect. It's got a buggy. I don't think the shuttle will take you up there, but I'll bet you if you call me, I tell you what, let me just make this deal. If you're going to opening weekend and you call me and say, Faughn, I booked my hotel at the Courtyard by Marriott, like you said, it's wonderful, it's great, and you need a ride back home, you can get in the F-150, maybe sit in the back. I don't know how many people take me up with this. You just find a way to text me, and Kelton and I will drive you back to the Courtyard. He didn't know I was going to say that. We'll drive back to the Courtyard. Kelton, look on your phone. When is the first game at Faurot? It's usually an August date. If you haven't booked your hotel rooms, you may be out, but come down. Courtyard by Marriott, it's going to be perfect. You can go have dinner. You'll enjoy all the things about Jeff City downtown. You don't have all the crowds and what have you. Come down, Truman. If you don't have a place to stay, if Mrs. Truman kicks you out, and you on opening day, you're having too much fun. We've all been there, right? A little too much opening weekend cheer, too much Bud Light. I know. I appreciate you not scoffing, changing scrolling up your face when I said that about the Bud Light thing. I get tired of that stuff. But you will be if you need a ride, you text me, buddy. I'll come drive you back to the Courtyard by Marriott where you can stay. It'll be outstanding. Kelton, when is that?
Thursday, August 31st. They're playing
Thursday
South Dakota.
Night game, even better. Little Patty Malone's will have their karaoke rolling. Easily walking distance from the Courtyard by Marriott. Come in, start looking at your tickets. Come down. Come in for the weekend. Come do Jeff City on a Friday. Come by the place. If you've sent me stickers, or you've sent me like a Governor Dalton button, or like I got this cool Harry Truman Centennial one. I haven't put all the names on that yet, but I will. Come down. We'll check the place out. Go watch the game Thursday night. Stay here in town. It'll be outstanding. Love you guys. Thank you for watching. My bad about last week. This week, Curtis Gregory, one of your buddies. You know Curtis, right? No, yeah, of course he does.